Fight Geeks, what is up?
That was hard.
That was our new
no?
introduction, possibly, but it's episode 56.
Yeah, we just found that button on the soundboard. No.
Yeah, we have all these cool sound effects. Maybe we'll run some later in the episode, but it is episode 56. It's a Tuesday night. We don't usually do this, but
Tuesday
we're here.
9:07 p.m.
It's still November, so you could see what's to come. You see that white
Yeah, y'all see it.
tree? That'll be in the middle next episode once it's actually Christmas season. If you got, it's already been a year since we put that down.
Guys, so put a like if you remember the Christmas tree. Put a like if you like the Christmas tree. And, let's talk fight.
Yeah.
I don't know what's been going on recently. News
Last
has been
episode we
alright.
covered UFC 295, so
There's just a lot going on.
There
in
was no
UFC.
fight
There's a
in
few
the
things to
weekend.
discuss.
there's no
There's
fight.
no fights. UFC Austin next week. Right?
UFC Austin next week. We had some news about some other organizations happenings, which will be cool to check out.
And then we got to touch on UFC 300 because what are they going to make?
Yeah,
that
we're
card?
gonna touch on future cards.
What are they going to make
touch
this
on-
card, guys?
We're gonna touch on anything fight related.
Exactly. So let's start.
So
with,
let's go from where our last episode was.
Yeah, where was
we'll end off the episode with predictions, guys. So if you do want to watch only predictions, just skip a little bit. We're just gonna recap kind of the past couple weeks. Khamzat Chimaev, he wants Pereira. I mean,
guys, this is getting old. You struggled
Yeah.
against Usman.
I literally am not really a fan of Khamzat just because of how inactive he is.
I know.
And his fight with Usman was
His first year
not
went.
impressive
His
at
first
all.
year went crazy.
Lackluster, to say the least.
No, his first year went crazy. He was fighting everyone.
Yes.
Fighting the elite.
Like, yeah, he's still undefeated, but
But he's getting tested now. So it's like now
Yeah.
he's slowing down when he fights the better competition. Now with Ramadan coming up, he ain't even gonna fight even longer.
I know.
So I'm not saying
that's Khamzat's
I'm not saying you
downfall.
can't pick a fight. You could fight 3 times a year, but fight more, man. You're talking all this craziness and then you're not even fighting.
Yeah.
And on top of that, you can't even figure out a division either. So I don't know.
Yeah, this is 2 divisions up from
I'm not
his
even
original.
like a hater of Hamza.
This is light heavyweight.
I'm a fan of Hamza. I'm just not a fan of the inactivity of Hamza when he after he's been tested.
Yeah, when he came on the scene, he was like, okay, I'm actually really hyped to see this dude. Now it's been like, okay, he's had a war with Gilbert, missed weight, and walloped
Here's the
Kevin
thing,
Holland.
I don't think Dana White's too impressed either because
Yeah.
as far
For
as
a guy
I'm
that was
concerned,
yelling his name.
as far as I'm concerned, winner was supposed to get Strickland. Now all of a sudden Strickland versus Duplessis got made. So is Dana really a fan of Hamza right now? 'Cause I don't know.
He definitely had some saying. I do I know that's why we like the UFC. They go with the fans. We didn't think Usman versus Hamzat was all that. Neither did the UFC. Therefore, Dricus Duplessis.
That's what I'm saying.
But the PFL, Professional Fighting League, and then the Bellator MMA have been moved into one. PFL has acquired Bellator MMA. I actually had to unfollow Bellator MMA, unfortunately, guys.
What we're gonna see is just one company now, right?
Yeah,
Pretty much all the Bellator fighters. Well, actually, we'll touch on this because it kind of the one dude that fights in Bellator. What is it?
what division?
The dude that's coming to the UFC allegedly. That we'll get
Patchy
into as
Mix,
well.
Bantamweight. Sean O'Malley's been talking with
No,
him.
no, the Kevin Holland fighting. Allegedly.
Oh, Michael Venom Page.
He was in the Bellator.
Yeah.
And now that with the leak of him potentially fighting
Ooh.
Kevin Holland coming out in the UFC, this has you thinking because when I would first read this, I would automatically assume that Bellator fighters would be signed by PFL. But it looks like maybe contracts are breaking free in the process
Yeah.
of the transaction because, like I just said with the leak we just saw today, Kevin Holland might fight that guy. So
Ooh.
interesting. I
Good
wonder what's
thinking,
going
good
on with the
thinking.
contracts there and stuff. But
Yeah, so maybe we're going to see a lot more free agents
yeah, right. That's what I'm thinking.
over this little, and it's kind of nice because there's a little winter break after 296. So maybe
Do you think
UFC
this
can do
is?
some
Do you
signings.
think this will be a W for MMA, or do you think this will further improve UFC's reign at the top?
I think that this will be a W for the UFC.
Me too.
I think this is going to split UFC and PFL way more, especially if we're seeing people like MVP go to
Yes.
UFC and stuff like that.
Exactly. So
And,
oh my gosh, thank
Like,
you.
because I feel like PFL can't bring every Bellator fan with it. I mean, Bellator fans can go to the UFC and see Michael Chandler in there. They could see a bunch of
also-
veterans.
I feel like Bellator fans are Bellator fans. Like they're like
Yeah.
they like Bellator, right? So now with the transaction, I think
Dude,
they're not going to
literally.
enjoy that. Like I feel like they like Bellator. They just always preferred it or something over the UFC. And I think with them switching to PFL now, the people that were like hardcore fans of Bellator are honestly probably just going to switch to UFC because UFC is just like king.
Just like
of
on
MMA.
Strike Force, Pride, all those things back in the day.
And
UFC
all this
reigns
does
supreme.
is lower the competition because if PFL is making this move and then on top of that lose their higher skilled guys, how are they going to get more eyes to watch the sport? If anything, Bellator and PFL and UFC all being in competition with each other.
Yeah.
They only improved each other. So now this being one, I think yes, their views might go up, but not
I think
as
it's going
much
to further
as they
divide
were
them.
expecting. I don't know.
I think it's going to further divide the UFC and the PFL.
This might honestly just help out one championship too. Like,
Yeah,
it's just
to be
helping
honest,
everybody but
I
them.
forgot
in
about
my
them,
eyes. Like, geez.
But this was basically their plans for the deal. The PFL formed the powerhouse, alleged to be the co-leader, which, well, who else is going to be the co-leader? Right. They're very close with one championship. I don't know if I would call PFL co-leader just because they're on ESPN, but
No.
PFL and Bellator fighter combined roster, so they're gonna combine.
They're
going to combine both rosters and make it a world rank 25.
A what?
20. They're gonna get their top 25 world rank from both rosters.
See, they say that, which we were just debating it, but why? So I wonder what's going on with the contract. Something probably.
And then they're gonna have a reimagined Bellator in 2024 with a Champions Series. So basically, they're gonna get all the Bellator champions, figure out who those are, PFL champions versus Bellator champions.
Wait, that's what they're gonna do.
And landmark MMA mega.
Okay, that's kind of hard. Though.
I know.
That's kind of fire.
I had the greatest description. It sounds great on paper. It sounds amazing on paper. You feel me?
Oh my gosh! But like we were just talking about, will this also just further make the UFC champions and the competition of the UFC look way better? Because guys, a lot of the people complain about in Bellator fights are you'll see a really good champion, he'll be like 18-0, and then some actual like low key nice guy will come in there and just kill him, and people will be like, "What are all these fake champions in Bellator?" So I think what we're going to see here is that we're going to see a little bit of fakeness in PFL champions as well, or we're just going to see that UFC is clearly the most high
because we're going to be
competition
having
level
like
of MMA
Cyborg.
possible.
I think it's like Cyborg is going to be going against like Pennington, maybe, who was talking
Chris
shit.
Harrison, I thought.
Is it Chris Harris? I don't really know the
I don't
women.
know.
The women's
oh
fighters
wait, no,
that
there's
well.
two of them. They did say that.
I know Cyborg is going to be fighting someone. It's going to be sick.
She just fought it.
So yeah, that is very cool, and that brings us right into our predictions for UFC Austin. Let me pull up the card.
Bam, bam.
So this card honestly was very like this card was very eye popping when it first dropped because we had people like Khalil Roundtree on there. Dan Hooker was still supposed to be on here. Fights like that. Fortunately, we had some injuries, but the first fight we have here is Dustin Stolfulus versus Punahele Soriano. I'm gonna be honest. I haven't heard of either of these two fighters yet, which I like because I like watching people I've never heard of. How about you?
Me too.
Like I've never heard of these guys, but now we know them. You know what I mean?
Well, they're both American.
And we're gonna be betting on them.
It's gonna be a shootout. I'm going with Dustin via experience.
I'm gonna go with Soriano.
Okay.
Next up, we got some more familiar faces. Clay Guida is back, and he is fighting.
Dude, what fight is this?
Hakeem Silva. I'm gonna go with Silva here.
Yeah, I'm going with Silva. I think
he is Brazilian. I mean, I'm gonna be honest. Clay Guida, like, I haven't really seen him win in a while. Have you?
I haven't seen him since he cut his hair.
What has he been up to? Can I even check? But then next up, we actually have Kelvin Gastelum's welterweight debut. Well, his re-debut. He was a welterweight in the past.
Guys, Kevin Gastelum.
He's back against Sean Brady, who hasn't fought in a minute. Sean Brady's last fight was Bilal Muhammad.
I'm going with Sean Brady because Sean Brady was the up-and-coming guy, undefeated, who people were really backing. And when he went in there against a super top guy like Bilal Muhammad,
in Abu Dhabi, he might have messed him up.
Yes, in Abu Dhabi, and he did get slapped. And he's been saying this whole time he's been out, like, hey, guys, like, that wasn't me. Like, I promise, like, I could beat these guys. Yeah. And he was mainly silent for his time off. Didn't hear much from him. He's coming back against a killer in Kevin Gastelum. I mean, Kevin Gastelum, say what you want about his recent UFC career, but he was a dog.
He brought Izzy to war.
Y'all remember that fight? That's one of Izzy's best fights. It's Kevin freaking Gastelum, and now he's fighting a weight class below where he's always should have been because he was a weird guy for middleweight. So I'm interested to see if he's really hungry and really wants to come back, or because there's no doubt that Sean Brady's hungry.
Oh yeah,
is Kevin
especially
Gastelum,
for being out this long, longer than a year.
So is Kevin Gastelum still hungry now, or is this just him getting a paycheck? I mean, the dude's been in the UFC.
Maybe.
So,
but then we have another division change. Figgy is coming up.
Okay.
Bantamweight against Rob Font.
I'm rocking with Figgy. Just because
Figgy is the underdog. But yeah, Figgy is no joke.
Wait, I'm betting on this fight. Figgy's the underdog. I'm using my bonus bets because I just turned 21, guys.
Hey, it's legal. But Rob Font is no joke. Striking wise, how do you think this fight's gonna go?
So I'm gonna go with Figgy. I don't know how. I don't know how, guys, but I just think he was a top guy in his division. He neutralized everyone he fought besides Brandon Moreno. So I'm going up a weight class might be a little harder. But Rob Font's like a legend of the game. This dude's like,
yeah.
I bet. Can you check how many fights they've had? Because I don't want to speak, but
Figgy's had 25. Rob Font's had 27.
Figgy's had 25 fights in the total fights.
Total fights.
I think in the UFC though.
Oh,
Hasn't Radfon's been in the UFC forever? I don't know.
He's in the
guys.
in the
I don't
UFC
know who to pick on this fight. I'm just taking Figgy by not doing my homework.
I'm gonna be honest. I feel like this is gonna be too big of a step. Is that my mouth?
No, I think it was me. I had like an itch.
This is gonna be too. This is gonna be too big of a step up for Figgy, and I think Rob Font is gonna knock
Shut him down. He
Figgy.
might.
It's
a good
look at Rob. I mean, just Rob Font probably walks around 20 pounds heavier than the guy.
Yeah, probably.
But I'm excited for that fight. I'm excited for Figgy. We'll see what else. I think flyweight was kind of just getting old for him. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Next up, we have the late notice Jalen Turner going up against Bobby Green, the ranked Bobby Green, by the way. Bobby Green is a ranked fighter.
Bobby's a dog here, I'm pretty sure, right?
He is an underdog just because Jalen Turner is probably the better man on paper, but you know Bobby Green.
Was he
knocked out the better man on
too?
I honestly don't know, but Bobby Green was underdogged in his last fight because it was a wrestler.
No, he was definitely underdog.
Because it was someone scarier. I'm going with Bobby Green again. Bobby Green is here to knock you out and take your ranking. That's all he's here to do.
Guys, I'm taking Bobby Green by knockout as well, not because he's the more skilled opponent, but because this is his time right now. With his last few fights, everything's just been going right. He's been putting guys to sleep. He's got that statement win on Tony Ferguson, and I think we're seeing like a mini Jorge Masvidal run right here, where they're not that great, right? They're not that great. They were always lackluster. Then all of a sudden they started knocking everyone out, and this is what he's doing.
What if it's like the second coming of Oliveira, but on the stand-up?
This is what I mean. Like this dude Bobby Green, all of a sudden is coming.
He's 37 years old.
Yeah,
God damn.
Late, it's gonna be like just like Jorge, a little late career spark where you knock some top guys out, and then all of a sudden you're in you're a draw all of a sudden.
Yeah, I'll always root for Bobby Green.
I like Bobby Green just because I saw his beard.
To be honest,
for the first time I saw him, he had that.
And his dad's story about jail is crazy.
Oh yeah,
it's a crazy story, man. Then our main event, lightweight main event, Beneil Dariush versus Arman Tsarukyan.
Guys, I'm going with Beneil Dariush. I think he's pissed.
Ooh.
I think he's pissed because, guys, he was just on a 9-fight win streak. Fighting every other top guy besides the ones you know. That's kind of funny, right? Literally fighting all the top guys besides the one you know, besides Charles Oliveira, but he wasn't fighting.
He wanted to fight Islam.
Look, he snuck up there with his 9-win streak because he did beat Tony Ferguson, he did beat Charles Oliveira, but like where was the guys like Gaethje, Poirier, Gamrot? Why didn't he fight these boys coming up? But either way, he was on a 9-fight win streak, didn't get his title shot.
Got exterminated by Oliveira.
He finally fought Oliveira and was like, all right, this is for the title, guys. Like confirmed. Once he finally got confirmed, like, hey, if I win this fight, it's for a title. He choked in the moment. So I think he's coming back with blood. He probably beats everyone in the lightweight besides like 4 guys. And I don't know who this guy is, so I'm kind of
okay. So Arman Tsarukyan, he's fought Islam before. He lost to Islam, but he's fought Islam before.
He fought Islam.
And hear me out. He's number 8 ranked.
Okay,
but he is the next generation of lightweight.
Is he?
But I feel like this is a passing of the torch. He's 27.
And how old's Beneil? Like
34.
Oh, he's cooked.
Like I feel like this guy is going to be one of the next generations of lightweight, and I feel like this is another passing the torch moment, even though it's not a championship fight. But I think, unfortunately, Beneil Dariush, that was as close as he'll ever get to the title.
I hope not. Man.
In this day's lightweight, did you realize that lightweight has the most fighters on the roster?
Yeah, I saw that.
You saw that? That's crazy to me.
A lot.
I mean, it's not crazy to me. It's just like, it makes sense. You know what I mean?
That makes
sense.
But
makes sense.
Quick debate: who are the scariest guys?
Up and comers in lightweight?
No, just like in the UFC in general. I would say the light heavyweights. Like, who would you not want to see in public? Type deal.
Not want to see in public?
Like, I wouldn't want to see a light heavyweight in public. Like, Francis Ngannou scares me, but like he would be almost like too chiseled, where you're like, okay, I'm not like that's just crazy. But now, if I saw someone like Yuri Prochazka or Alex Pereira, one of the light heavyweights, like I don't know, that's gonna freak me out the most. But if I saw like Brandon Pantoja out in public at the grocery store, like I'm not gonna walk by that dude.
He would kick your ass.
I'm not gonna walk by that dude and think it's a fighter. There's no way. But
walking by and thinking they're a fighter?
No, not even that. Like if I just based off pure fear off looking at it.
Is it only UFC? Because Francis Ngannou, bro. If I saw that dude in real life, I'd be like, yo.
I'm just thinking like, who are the scariest guys
ever
on the roster?
Francis. Oh, on the roster.
Like
let's go each division. Who's the scariest in each division? Like so flyweight, I would have to say.
Okay, no one looks scary in flyweight.
Figgy.
Figgy looks weird.
He's like Figgy looks like he would just like kick your ass in like 5 seconds, like a split second. He's just like, oh, you got your ass kicked.
If I saw him, yeah, probably.
You know how like that SpongeBob meme where he's like, want to see me do it again? That would be Figgy whooping your ass.
I probably, you know what's crazy is we probably walked by a professional fighter in our lifetime.
I mean, we were at Legacy Fighting Alliance, and there probably was some fighters in this crowd we didn't.
Glover. If no one knew who Glover was,
yeah, Glover just like the humble grandpa.
Except Glover's huge. This is why I mean light heavyweights are the scariest dudes. Like his fist was fucking like.
So scariest bantamweight, honestly, probably Piotr Jan.
Yeah, I would agree with that. That's actually like a bigger threat. I don't think I look like a threat. So if I like did a little bit of training and learned fighting, I feel like you get easy to pick on, but all of a sudden. Whip their ass. But that's bantamweight.
Flat or
featherweight, dude. I probably wouldn't even say
Bryce Mitchell.
Featherweight, I don't even know. None of them are too scary.
Featherweight, I mean, Ilya Topuria is pretty scary.
I like that guy. Did you see the video of him punching a fan? Oh my god.
Yes, oh my god. And he laid down with him. That fight is coming up. I think I got Topuria.
I got Volk.
I got Topuria. I got
Volk. He's 35 years old. I just want to see that curse be broken once. Like, I just want to see what's going on. Because the only 2 wins from that curse, guys, are Tyron Woodley. Can Volk break it? Crazy.
Well, yeah, because what does it go from welterweight down? Or middleweight down?
Middleweight down, I believe.
Yeah, because light heavyweight Glover.
Yeah. Yeah, no, yeah. Well, actually,
every division besides.
That's what's weird we could talk about, too, is fighters, like, in their prime. Like, 35 is obviously the age for the weight divisions up into light heavyweight. But light heavyweight, it almost seems as if the older champs are more out there. Alex Pereira is 36, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, he is.
Who's the heavyweight champ? John Jones, 36 right now. The older guys, and the older big guys seem like they have a longer longevity. I don't know what it is. Just maybe it's like the body type,
which is crazy. Maybe
like you see guys like Glover, 42. No other division. I don't think we're ever going to see a 42-year-old lightweight champ. No way.
Fuck no.
So when you
no.
And the higher weights though, they're just dogs. Like
that is crazy, bro.
Right? Isn't it crazy to think about
like you think of lightweight as like a 24-year-old kid.
Yeah, right.
Damn near like a 26-year-old.
You're not going to see a 42-year-old champ.
I mean, Islam's 35,
so it's a weird little thing. So is this stat? So obviously your prime. There's not a lot of time in MMA. Like the age is like all of a sudden you're the best in the world, and like Tony Ferg, bro. That's a perfect example. Or even Anderson Silva. All of a sudden he was just the greatest, and then all of a sudden he just wasn't.
Yeah, guys, it's been a good week.
It's been a good week, guys.
Our environment is changing slowly. You guys can't see it, but we're looking at it on the other side of the camera.
There's construction going on. Construction.
We're going to be documenting it on a second channel, which we'll just promote it when the video's out. Yeah, that was episode 56. We're going to be back this Saturday, so I'm probably going to edit this probably Thursday because I don't have class.
Yeah, you guys thought it was Saturday. It's really not Saturday.